All right, guys, let's get this party started. Today is Sunday the 6th, and as promised, I'm coming on here with a video, a full video this time, not a minute long, whatever I put out yesterday. And that was in response to so many of you contacting me privately and on the channel saying, yo, like, come on, where are you? And I hope everybody can hear me. I've got the microphone right here. A couple of you said, it's a little low. I don't know why that is. I did spend a little money on this thing, so I don't know what's going on. But hopefully, this is a little bit better. Um, so, I. The video I put out on the first talked about chaos, chaos, chaos. It was everywhere. It's still going on. People said, well, how long is this going to last? I'm gonna say like uh, probably the next 2 weekish, 2 weeks, before things start to kind of die down. Um, but also, don't forget, I was given that date of July 15th. I still don't know what's going to happen that date um, specifically, but July 15th is one of those key dates that I was given. As most of you know, I'm given certain dates, and there's specific dates, like exact dates, to look out for, and they have never been wrong with those dates. As far as something going on, um, in like a worldwide way, affecting us in mass. Okay, so a lot of people also were saying, yeah, a lot of the creators were saying the fourth Don the Con's going to be out. I told you guys I didn't see that then. Um, that's still coming, but it just wasn't going to be on the fourth. I didn't see that for that. And so let me just backtrack real quick. I had a rough week. It was chaotic for me. Several different things happened, with me. Not bad things, just chaos stuff here, there, everywhere. And not to mention, I hadn't been feeling really good. It's probably being under the air conditioner all the time. As some of you know, I have sinus issues pretty bad. Accounts for always the swelling under my eyes. I've always had that. I've had 3 sinus operations, and the last two, the swelling just would get really bad below and above my eye. I don't know if you guys can tell, but and it just really messes with me. And yes, I've tried damn near everything, so I appreciate all the advice, but it's just the only time it ever went completely away was taking prednisone for a short period of time. But that's not something I want to do often or even regular because the prednisone has other side effects. But anyway, so I'm feeling a little bit better today. And I was led to put out a video today. I wanted to do one yesterday in length, but I was told today would be a better day. Um, and I would have support. Yesterday, I wasn't going to get no support. So today, I have support and I feel it, and they're there. And there's a specific format that I'm told to put out today's information. Okay. So we're going to go with that format. So on there was some predictions that I made that have already come true from that video that I put out on the first. Um, Especially the one with the Greece. Greece had to evacuate over 1,500 people from Crete. Um, and that situation is still ongoing. But also, they have fights and there's some stuff brewing between some of the Jewish settlers that kind of ended up in Greece somehow, and so that situation may be getting a little ugly. But these wildfires that they're experiencing there, oh my goodness, it's really bad. That you can Google and see for yourself. Also, not on the first, but a couple weeks back, I talked about Japan, and I said there's something with Japan coming, and I wasn't quite sure what it was. And then Japan announced that they were not going to be part of the G7 in support of Israel attacking Iran. Um, and and I thought that was basically, that. Come to find out, Japan just this week alone has suffered through over 1,100 earthquakes. They had a major 5.6 earthquake, but they suffered through over 1,100 earthquakes in 1 week. So you know something is kind of brewing there. Let's just send some energy there because they cannot go through, I think, another major catastrophic event. They get quite a few already. But anyway, so they wanted me to go through these, some of these predictions that have come true, and there's a purpose and a reason behind it, okay? Um, there's also there's so much that happened. I don't know if you guys are aware, but in Philadelphia, they are having a trash strike. The Union DC 33 is on strike. They, amongst other duties, pick up trash for the entire city of Philadelphia. Philadelphia has 1.3 million people. It's worse than a nightmare. Worse than a nightmare. People are throwing trash everywhere, and of course rats and this and that, and so it's just a nightmare. Um, they have not come to an agreement yet. I believe that they will come to an agreement, but I don't see it like right away. I just don't see it right away. Um, I I am a pro union person, and we can afford to pay. Corporations. At some point you've got to say, okay, when is like enough? Let's spread this out a little bit more evenly. And even though City of Philadelphia is not a corporation, they're not broke. They really aren't. They're not broke. Um, they have a huge tax base, and so they can afford, I'm pretty sure, to put a little bit more money into their workers' hands. Okay. Um, but anyway, it will get resolved, but I just don't think it's going to be right away. Okay. I also put out about New Mexico. I said something with New Mexico involving Mexicans and the Indians. One of the people on this channel told me who lives in New Mexico, and then I eventually Googled it. New Mexico experienced and still is experiencing large wildfires on the reservation, on a certain reservation or reservations, and into the Arizona border. So it is affecting the Indians and some of the Mexican community in a large way. Okay, let's see. Oh, I said I saw a storm on the east coast of Florida. Florida has had a tropical storm, and it's now um, intensified, and it's moving up the South Carolina coast and along the East Coast. Um, I told you guys not on the first July 1st video, but a while ago about Kilmar Abrego Garcia that he would eventually be free, but not only be free, but he would be represented by like pro bono and really good lawyers. He would have great legal representation. That has already come to pass in the sense of he's got a legal team that is outstanding. Okay. And he was, as you know, he was sent back to the United States. He was placed in jail. I don't know, do you call it jail or prison? But anyway, he was placed in prison. And I said, as soon as he's released, we're going to rearrest him. So his legal team went and had the judge say, look, because he was released by the judge, look, can he stay in jail? And the judge was like, okay, sure, why not? So he's still in jail. He's safe on American soil right now, not experiencing the hardships that he experienced in El Salvador. And I distinctly remember saying he was going to go through a process, and he will. But he's got an excellent legal team, and so good for him. And I know that everyone is happy about that for him. I told you guys, not on the first, but probably two videos back, there was going to be a big leak in this administration. Um, Iran released 100 gigabytes of data on Trump and Putin. Okay? Um, you can look it up yourself. Amongst some of the information that was leaked was all the information on the Stormy Daniels, that whole debacle, but there's so much more stuff. You notice how quiet it's been on the media, but the stuff is out there. There's files and files and files of information. I actually went and kind of researched it a bit. Um, it's fascinating stuff. So whoever cares, go for it. Um, let's see. Elon, he has launched that new America First political party. He's not playing with this administration. I've been telling you guys it's going to be ugly between them, and it's going to get uglier. And he is he's vengeful. He's very vengeful. And but after a while, his vengefulness will not be on Don the Con, because Don the Con won't be in commission. So it will still be against the political Republican Party. Okay. Um, he's on a mission, and it's a good thing. He is the enemy of our enemy. Okay. Um, and it's so funny because I notice a lot of people have started using that phrase now. Um, and I've been telling you guys about that for a while, because that's just the tide of things coming. In order for everything to unfold the way it needs to, there's so many different things going on. If you guys, a lot of you have jumped off the love train, right? And are kind of looking around at everything and allowing it to deeply affect you instead of staying on the love train, right? And just observing, observing. Yes, bad things are going on, but just observe through it. As I think that's the last recap. Oh, one last thing. Back in December, early December, maybe even the end of November, but I know it was December sometime. Definitely by December, rather. I went through the whole thing with Diddy. I said that he would not be released anytime soon. He would age almost overnight. That he did. He looks totally different. And I also saw that he would either there's a possibility he might unalive himself or he would be unalived at some point. There's not a good ending for him. So when the verdict came out that day, a couple of you were like, yeah, he's not gonna he's getting out, blah blah blah. Well, he's not out yet. His bail was denied. They offered $1 million to the judge, and the judge refused it, rejected that offer. He is still in prison, and his sentencing is not until October. Okay? I just do not see a good end for him. I never did, not from the beginning. There's a culmination of his actions that have returned now full circle on him. And if you can read between the lines, okay, if you followed any part of his trial or what's been going on with him, what the people have accused him of, and a lot of stuff we don't even know. There's so much more, okay? Um, I saw the complete circle just come back to him, okay? He just does not escape it. He doesn't escape it at all. So, no, he's not free. He's not free. And just because he got off on the major counts, um, that really means literally nothing. It doesn't. A person doesn't have to serve a lifetime in jail to receive some form of karma. Karma can come in so many different ways, and it does. Okay? So, but anyway, okay, that was definitely the last thing that they wanted me to do a recap on. And like I said, let's put the 15th, July the 15th in our calendars and let's see what happens as far as that date goes. So, um, this is what I was actually given this image uh, probably the latter part of this week by my beautiful helpers on the other side. And which we all have, by the way, okay? And so you're going to understand why I did a recap of everything going on and um, why it's necessary to tell this. So, I used to have a car. My first car actually was a Fiat X19. Freaking love that car. Loved it. They don't make them anymore. But it was just a little, tiny little sports car, Italian, of course. And I bought it here, had it shipped overseas when I went to my first overseas base, which was in Germany. And driving it one day, and I think I was in like a very bad state of mind this day. Um, Not doing good at all. I may have been a tad bit tipsy. Statute of limitations is passed, so I'm good. Uh, and I lived in the town of Winnweiler in Germany, and coming off the Bahn, the highway, um, and going into Winnweiler, there was a you would go like around a curvy cliff type of. It wasn't big, but it was like curvy and it was railed and etc. So I'm going around there, and somehow I lost control. I broke the rail, and my car was literally dangling over the edge of this cliff. Needless to say, I mean, it wasn't like a billion foot drop, okay, but it was enough that it would have probably unalived me for sure. And the car was dangling over the cliff with part of the rail, and no one was coming. I had no help. And immediately, okay, now what if you don't know, the engine of the Fiat X19 is in the rear, okay? So your weight is in the rear of the car. The trunk was in the front. It had a long trunk, front of the car where the hood usually is. So one good thing was, even though the car was tipping, it was more inclined to tip back because of that weight back there. And it was a stick shift. I remember operating on autopilot. I didn't know this myself. It was obviously them doing it. They had me put the car in neutral. I jumped out the car, grabbed it, and pushed it back. And it was kind of difficult to do because the front of the car and the rail that I had broke and hit was stuck at some point in front of the car. And so the car's like teetering back and forth, but fortunately, like I said, it was more inclined to stay in the back, but it was still teetering. And I'm pushing this car, and I felt some kind of something in the front, but I couldn't see what was going on. There was a release, and I was able to push the car back onto the road. Okay. Um, Hopped in, literally limped the car back to my apartment, and she was basically done. I couldn't really do much more with it. Okay, that was the end of that car, my baby. But anyway, and I'm not even into cars, but I really like that car. Um, and I tell you all that to say, this is where we are at this point in time. We are literally over the cliff, aren't we? Right? We are over the cliff. We're teetering back and forth, but we're basically falling over the cliff, aren't we? And not only that, with the passage of this big, ugly, shitty, excuse my language for those who get offended, crappy, horrible bill, um, it really seems like we literally fell off the cliff, except we haven't. We're not off, we're just still teetering. And we've been in teetering mode for a while now. So, so many of you asked, by the way, about the bill and what I see. What was given to me this week is regarding the bill. A lot of it, there's going to be chunks of it that are going to be undone. I do not know how the government works in that sense as far as the reconciliation bills and the difference between how they adjust those and a budget bill, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not going to even fake it with you. All I'm going to tell you is what I was shown. I saw chunks of it, blocks of it being undone, okay, through um, somehow in the House, um, it's undone. Okay, so, and here's another thing. Then when I thought about, okay, I said, well, I'm seeing these chunks of it being undone. And then I remembered Mercury, by the way, guys, is getting ready to go retrograde. We are in the shadow period of a Mercury retrograde. So what that typically means is that typically things that are done during the shadow period and the retrograde period are always undone. Always undone. So, that car that's hanging over the cliff, teetering back and forth, right? It's still teetering. It has not fallen over the cliff. And it won't fall over the cliff. Okay? Chunks of that bill are going to be undone. Mark my words. And the time period I get is by November, it's going to be actively undone. Okay? So you can mark that down on your calendars however you want. And remember, most of this, most of this is not supposed to take place until next year. Okay? So to all those that are, and then the actual Medicaid stuff doesn't take effect until 2029. And Republicans typically do stuff like that. They will put like something horrific into a bill and then wait until after a major election when they know they're going to get voted out, so that they can blame it on Democrats. That's their MO, except this time it's just not going to work. That stuff is done with. So even though they've got it, those Medicaid cuts won't kick in until 2029, which is after the midterms, right? And after the new president takes office, and then they can say, look how horrific, look at what's happening, right? It's so much is going to happen before that. It's just not going to work. Those tricks that they've been playing now, they're going to be going wiped out. Okay, but anyway. So before a lot of this even takes effect, a lot will be undone. Okay? And all I know is that somehow it can be. So I just saw blocks of it out, blocks of it out. And there was already a lot taken out of the big, ugly, crappy, shitty bill by the parliamentarian. Okay, she had a lot stripped out. All right. So we still got to thank her for her amazing work. And grudgingly, we're going to thank Thune for not firing her like he could have. And I told you that whole situation there. But we have not fallen off the cliff. Yes, we're teetering. Okay, it's back and forth, back and forth. But if you don't allow yourself to get involved in each and everything that you hear, okay, each and everything that you hear, it's enough to give you like a mental breakdown. Just observe. Stay on that love train. Look out the window. Look at all the stuff. Yeah, I see it. But stay on it. Stay on it. These clowns think that they're running things now. I've told you guys how that works over and over. They're great actors in this play. Okay? But they're not the true power. They're really not. Okay? As for Alcatraz, alligator Alcatraz, can you imagine thinking of humans as food for alligators? That you have to seriously have a sick spirit, not the soul. Okay, the soul is the highest aspect. Okay, And if you want more clarity of that, I talk about it in both of the books. Okay. But all those that are looking upon people this way and their other fellow humans this way, they're bruised. Their spirit is bruised. There's pockets and holes in their spirit, okay? And honestly, the way I think of them, I just look and I sort of sadly, I just realize, what's ahead for them, you know? And it's just not good. And it's sad. But anyway, so when I first heard about this and saw that it was erected and put up and in it's getting in use now, I saw a whiteness, a almost like it was on a platform, right, of some type of protection, and I still don't quite understand what that means from them. Um, and I did ask for more clarity, but just this week I saw that it was flooded. It had flooded, okay, and that they had to remove people from it. Okay, does that mean they're going to reinforce it? I'm not sure, but it's not going to be. It's not going to work out like they think. It's just not. Okay. And as that comes through more clear, I will definitely share that with you guys. Something else I was given, and I'm so excited to tell this. There is something that's going to happen on a worldwide scale that is just going to be such a hope for humanity, and it's coming very soon. Very soon. It is going to give all of the good souls, the ones who have succumbed to the goodness in their soul, such a hope and such a reinforcement of their staying on that path of goodness. Okay? Um, will it be the decommissioning of Don the Con? Probably. Probably. But it could be something else also. Um, there's something that's just going to infuse us out of the blue with just a hope that we just didn't expect. Okay? So I'm very excited about that. The reason that they had me read all these recaps um, is basically to say, hey, we've been right. We, meaning them, been right about this and this and this and this. Okay? And they've been specific on a lot of things. They probably could be more specific if I was just a better interpreter. Okay? So blame that on me. Um, but they wanted to say, hey, we've been right about this. Just keep keep going. Okay? And not keep going and trusting in them, okay? But trusting the process of divine love unfolding the way it has to unfold in its way, in the perfect way that it needs to. Okay? Putting your hope in what they say. No. Put your hope in the only power that really exists, and that is the power of divine love that pulses through everything. Everything. Okay? So, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to this situation that comes that just kind of just puts like a little more hope and restores a lot of people's souls, because so many of us have been torn asunder, right? We've been torn apart with the chaos. And look, intellectually we know, yes, in order for things to be fixed, in order for things to change, they've got to be ripped apart, they've got to be taken down. But it can wear you out, and it does have an effect, not only mentally but emotionally and physically, right? But anyway, so what they're saying is, in keep your eye to the, not to the sky, but to divine love, and let it unfold things the way it needs to. And here's the thing, guys. If something's not supposed to affect you, it's not going to. I don't care what happens. Okay? If it's not supposed to affect you, if your soul hasn't put it in the path of something you need to experience, it's just not, it just won't be a part of your life circle. Okay? And for the others that do experience whatever is going on, you can trust and believe that it is part of not only their life circle, it is choice that their soul made on a higher level that we don't understand why, but it is the choice of the soul. Okay? We don't see everything. Remember that. We don't see everything. Do I need to pull out the spear? The sphere? Okay, I'll do it. Since you guys are asking me to. Remember, right? All this is going on, and we're only seeing this right here. Maybe another one, right? Two, maybe three. But that's it. We don't see the whole picture. We can't grasp the entire picture. But it's there in perfect harmony. Okay? See, I wasn't going to pull it out, but you guys were like, forcing me, so I had to do it. All right, so one last thing I want to say is I have had a lot of people tell me that they're from foreign countries, and I just want to say, hey. But honestly, and this is the God's honest truth, I don't really think of you guys as foreigners. I don't. Like, I respect the fact that you're listening to me from Canada, some from India, Turkey, Spain, Germany, definitely the UK, Japan, Brazil. I mean, you're all over the place. But in my mind, I don't see that like foreign. Okay? I don't feel a separation like from you guys. Honestly, that God's honest truth, we're just spirits just kind of meeting up and interacting and you know communicating with each other, and that's literally like how I look at it. Like I'm talking, and then a lot of you just commenting and stuff, and I don't you know I don't see, you're not foreigners to me. So a shout out, but honestly, you're just, we're people, like we're humans, we're humans. So, uh, to those that need the distinction or want the distinction made, hey, but we are literally just humans, just living at different addresses, trying to make it in this world, right? And um, so, thank you to everyone. And you guys, your comments on my video yesterday, uh, you know, it was a quick video, and there was so much love in those videos. Like, hey, appreciate you letting us know. Can't wait to tune in tomorrow. Love to you. This over and over and over. Like I say, you guys, sorry, but you're not love buckets anymore. You're like love dumpster trucks. You're semi trucks. You're stadiums. Love stadiums. Okay? Forget the buckets. Buckets too small for you guys. You put out some of the kindest vibes, and that love always returns. It always returns in some form. Love never dies. That energy doesn't die. It actually increases. It pulses out and increases and goes off in different other directions. Okay? So thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate you all, and I'll be back soon. I promise it won't be that long. And they better be like listening to that too. Okay? But take care, and we're not over the cliff. We're not. We're teetering, but we're not over the cliff. All right? All right.